I took school really seriously because I thought that my time at school was going to set me up for life. But I was wrong. I don't mean any disrespect to teachers because there's some amazing teachers out there, but I think I was really naive in thinking that my time at school would set me up for the real world. I don't even use half of the school curriculum, I don't even remember it, and I don't even use my degree, which is what I work towards. And so since leaving school and even university, I found life really overwhelming. I felt so unprepared, and I still do, and I think that's because of how much there is to learn outside of those four walls. It's made me realise how much school doesn't teach you. I don't think schools prepare you for failure. The education system rewards people who do well and encourages you to improve if you don't. So I was a straight A student, I did really well, but because of that, I never actually learned how to cope with failure. I also wish that schools made you realise that your definition of success or what you want in life might change. So schools make you think that you'll go into one career and that's it, it's never going to change. I mean, I definitely didn't anticipate that I would ever go through a career change. And that's because back then you kind of just think that you'll pick one thing and that's it, but that's not the case. Career changes are so normal. So I might just be speaking from my own experiences here, but I just feel like the education system only prepares you for a certain type of career path. So I feel like it just places you on this really clear-cut trajectory, and it doesn't really encourage the idea of breaking the norm. I honestly didn't know things like businesses existed and that they could do really well, or things like being a freelancer or being self-employed, or even that such random jobs exist in the world like dog food tasting. You may end up working in a role that you didn't even know existed, and that's why I think it's such an important skill to be open-minded so you can spot opportunities. Schools also don't teach you that success looks different for everyone, so for some people it means having more money, for some people it means having control of their own time, and for other people it means just being able to do what they love. And equally, schools don't teach you that there's more to life than work, career and success. I feel like at school, grades and achievement just felt like the be-all end-all, but in the real world you quickly learn that there's just so much more to it. I spent a lot of time at school and university studying, so when I started working as a dentist, I was really thrown in the deep end because all of a sudden I was responsible for loads of people and I was managing with multiple people on a daily basis. I really had to learn how to manage people's expectations, how to have small talk, how to empathize with others, and how to deal with conflict and people when they're not happy, and it was really tough. But the thing is, I think these skills are so important because even if you're not in a job where you're dealing with people, unless you're a complete hermit, you're always going to be interacting with people. So when you go to the stores, or when you go for a meal, or even if you live in an apartment, or even on the road. So it is important to have those basic communication skills. Relationships are also such an important part of life. I think that I went into school thinking that the friends that I made there were the ones that I would keep forever, but that's not how it works for everyone. What are the chances that you'll find your right people amongst a class of 30? Socializing is a really important skill, but at school you're really limited to who you can socialize with. It also really misleads you into thinking that your relationships will come about from whatever environment you're in, rather than you actually having to go out and socialize. So everything that I've learned about people and friendships and relationships has actually come from outside of school. I think it's really important to know how to communicate and socialize, how to meet new people, how to cope with heartbreak, how to work with people, how to know when people are toxic, and even how to be alone. Schools really make you think that hard work and success are proportional, so if you study more then you'll do better, but this isn't always the case. I think schools are actually a really good breeding ground for perfectionism because they make you believe that everyone can achieve the same thing, but that's not always realistic. And what ends up happening is you can put loads of pressure on yourself to achieve, and that's what happened to me. But now I look back and realise that actually wasn't healthy because some people are more naturally gifted in some things than others. And I know in life we might not always get to do the things that we enjoy or the things that we're good at, and so being able to try for things is really important. But I think if we could at least appreciate that we didn't have to be good at everything, it would definitely take the pressure off and it would make us appreciate ourselves more when we did try. Schools and university encourage you to work as hard as you can because we're told that hard work is what leads to success. And I took this literally. So I would study all day, especially during peak exam season. I would study from the minute that I woke up to the minute that I went to bed. It was honestly so unhealthy and I neglected everything else. I actually don't think I did any form of exercise whatsoever up until the age of 23 because I just didn't appreciate how it could help me. I honestly did not care about my physical and mental health, and I really struggled with burnout, not even knowing what it was. Now I really appreciate the importance of being able to slow down and refuel so that I can continue to work and to value and love myself. I've learned when I need self-care, to identify when I'm exhausted or overwhelmed and to listen to what my body is telling me. I've learned to do things like yoga, journal, and even breathe to bring a sense of calm in my day. I've learned how to do my makeup so that I feel good, but also that I don't always need makeup to feel good. I've learned to have a skincare routine and found products which work for me and products which don't. I've learned to exercise and to prioritize my health, not because I want my body to look a certain way, but because it feels good. And without health, success is nothing. And I've learned to have boundaries, to say no when I want to say no, and to have my own space when I need it. I think personal finances should be on the school curriculum. Saving, investing, budgeting, taxes, paying your bill, preparing for retirement, buying property, and handling debt and credit. It's a lot and it can feel like such a minefield. You feel so unprepared and like you're behind in life for not knowing these things, but the honest truth is a lot of people in their 20s don't, because we just don't get taught it. I kind of find some of these things a little bit boring if I'm honest, so I don't always take an interest, but the honest truth is that everyone should have some basic knowledge of personal finances because it's what can help you go further. There are so many skills that you need to be a functioning adult who can look after themselves and the household. How to cook, and not even just how to cook, but also how to meal plan, go food shopping, eat healthy, and how to prepare meals. How to clean your home and deal with household issues like a tripped fuse or replacing a light bulb. How to wash your clothes without causing them to shrink, unless you want to steal your husband's clothes, and how to iron and fold your clothes nicely. How to drive, and basic car maintenance. And you know, I think it's super important to learn to be organized and to manage your time, because you kind of have to be organized to be able to do all of this, go to work and still have a life. I don't know about you, but household stuff to me just feels never ending. I honestly don't know how people with kids do it, but I've kind of had to make peace with the fact that I will never feel on top of it all. Education is a privilege and it's one that I'm really blessed to have, but once you leave school, you realize that learning doesn't stop. I'm beginning to understand that even people in their 30s, 40s, and even 50s are still figuring things out, and it's completely normal. So if you feel behind in life, don't. School might not have taught you everything, but life isn't like school. You don't need to have all of the answers at once, and you might not find them in a book. But what you need to learn, you'll learn along the way.